Not all consumers hunt and kill their own food. There are more kinds of consumers that we see. We see three images here. One of these is a scavenger, one is a detritivore, and one is a decomposer. If you had to label them, which one would you label scavenger? Which one would you label detritivore? And which one would you label decomposer? Well, let's learn a little bit more about each one. A scavenger, a scavenger is an animal that consumes the carcasses of other animals that have been killed by predators. So a scavenger will come in after predators have killed and eaten their prey, and they will either chase chase the predator away sometimes, or sometimes they'll just eat the leftovers. The predator may not clean the bones completely. They may not eat every little bit, and the scavengers, like this is a picture of a vulture, a king vulture. King vultures will come in and pick away every last little bit of meat that they can digest from the bones and the carcass of the of the predator's prey, of the dead animal. Other examples of scavengers are things like flies and hyenas. Okay, you may have seen nature documentaries where hyenas are pretty aggressive scavengers, so don't think scavengers are just content with leftovers. Hyenas will come and sometimes chase away the predators and eat, steal their prey from them rather than just eating the leftovers. Detritus is a word for dead material. So detritivores, like this giant earthworm, they feed on detritus. They chew and grind it into smaller pieces. Detritivores will often digest decomposers that live on and in detritus particles. Detritivores include a lot of smaller organisms like mites, snails, shrimp, and crabs. Don't think of dead material as just meat. Dead material, in fact, can be leaves, like dead leaves on the forest floor, or dead plants, trees that fall down, and then they get consumed by detritivores. And decomposers are things like bacteria and fungi, like a mushroom. The decomposers will chemically break down organic matter. They cause decay, and that's part of the process that makes detritus, makes these small pieces of dead and decaying plant and animal remains. So the decomposers will often break down dead matter on the ground, or wherever it happens to be in the water, and then the detritivores will eat the small broken down parts. Categorizing consumers is important, but these simple categories often don't express the real complexity of nature. For example, herbivores that eat leaves often differ greatly from animals that eat fruits or seeds in the way they obtain and digest their food. For example, the kind of digestive system needed to extract energy and nutrients from leaves is very heavy. So, this is not very common in flying animals. Moreover, organisms in nature often do not stay inside these nice, neat categories that we put them in. For example, some animals that are often described as carnivores, like lions, if they get a chance to scavenge, they will become scavengers. There are a lot of aquatic animals that eat a mixture of algae, bits of animal carcasses, and detritus particles. Sometimes they'll even eat the feces of other animals because there may still be some energy-rich compounds in the feces, because the animal that ate the food initially didn't fully process out all of the usable energy. So these categories are a good place to start: decomposer, detritivore, scavenger, uh, so on, herbivore, carnivore, omnivore. But you have to spend more time analyzing the ways that energy and matter move through ecosystems in order to truly understand how ecosystems work.